What's going on, guys? So it's Friday afternoon. I just got off work. It's what time is it? 4:12. Yeah, so I just got home. I picked up some wheel cylinders and a master cylinder for the old Dodge. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this motor just to see what I got going on. So I mean, it doesn't crank over easy at all. That was a bunch of junk. Yeah, so I'd like to know what's wrong with it. I was actually gonna run a few numbers on you guys recommended doing that, see exactly what this thing is. But I found two 318s and one 360 for sale locally for reasonable prices. So I guess that's what I want to do. But the motor's got to come out anyways for changing it. And I mean, I don't know, pulling ahead, doing all that work within the car, it's possible. It's a pain. I don't really want to do that. For the extra few bolts it'll be, I mean, the starter's out, the exhaust is cut off, you know, undo the bell housing bolts, a couple of motor mounts, pull it out, and kind of go from there. Then I can kind of diagnose what the heck happened to this thing, what it is, all that, and decide what I want to put in. Also, if it's not going to be a motor, it's easier to push around and all that with less weight in it, as I've found out over the years. So I'm going to do that. So actually, we're gonna go to the house right away. So I gotta do that first, then come back, yoink the motor. I'm hoping I can do the master and maybe a little bit of the brakes tonight yet. We'll see how the night goes. It's actually pretty hot out. I can finish detailing under the hood, give it a good pressure wash under where the K-member and all that is. And yeah, then I can decide tomorrow if it's just I'm done there, get the brakes going, or if I'm gonna try and ram a motor in there, carry on. I gotta put the seats back in because I'm not gonna do anything with the floors just right now. I got all the junk out. The floors turned out much better than I was hoping for, I gotta say. I actually ran into a guy. He's got a bunch of miscellaneous kind of floor patches, not for this here Plymouth. It's a Plymouth, not a Dodge. God, you guys really let me have it on that one. But I mean, really, any floor pans are Dodge floor pans, right? You can make it work. So it'll be it was gonna be cheaper than just flat sheet metal, and kind of cut it out the pieces I want, patch it all in. It'll be strong. It won't be the exact factory stuff, but it'll have the ribs in it and it'll be fine. But I'll do that kind of down the road. But having a car that runs and drives is much easier in my life, especially with what I got going on. So I can do that. I like to see if the transmission's good, all those sort of things. One guy's got a motor and trans for sale, so I might look into that. Yeah, we'll just see. We'll just see what's going on under here. So I might just kind of slide it over. So I'm actually working on concrete, not the gravel, and then go from there. But look at this house first, then I'll start ripping this thing apart. See you guys in about an hour. Well, everything's longer than it should, so it's been a couple hours. I forgot I got all the good jack stands on this hot rod, so I just got my little janky ones, whatever. It's up in the air, so that's good. I'm gonna crawl under there, see if I can read any numbers on the motor, and see what it says. Otherwise, started doing a few motor mounts. And what's going on here? Stupid Dodge. And see what I can get to. What the? Yeah, see what the deal is. Pull this sucker out, and I don't know, maybe pull the pan, pull the valve cover, see exactly what the problemo was. Well, it's all locked up. Yeah, should be a fun, easy night. Terrible, boring, whatever. It'll be something. But yeah, good after. I think Danny's gonna come out, so maybe she'll hold the camera for me a little bit, do a little bit of filming, so we get some cool angles, and yeah, I don't know. See what happens. Okay, we saw a Merc came by, my my hood man. So we're just kind of taking stuff apart. I pulled the distributor and it's completely full of diesel. That generally means someone's tried to unfree a motor before, so I don't feel bad about tearing this thing out before doing a whole lot of inspection. It also answers a lot of questions as to I'm probably buying a motor tomorrow. Nice little Saturday we'll have, but
romance.
I mean, we'll go to Home Depot while we're at it, who knows. So I got a few of the ugly bell housing bolts out, take the bottom ones out, 2 motor mounts, hook it up to the cherry picker, start pulling, find out what I missed, and then finish the job. So we'll put you back on the laps, look at that, camera to camera, and get this sucker out.
Amazing.
So I pulled the plug to drain the oil out. This was dead empty, and I had to put the plug in, it was still going full, so that's, I don't know, 20 liters, 5 gallons. I was gonna fill that up, unfortunately that's kind of full. I gotta drain some more out, but wow. So it's been stuck for a while, or someone tried to unstuck it a while ago. All right, so we're struggling. We got her. So the pain was because the motor seized, much like on the 440, the torque converter cannot be unbolted, so it's got to come out with the motor, which was a pain. It fought me, but we got her out. The other thing was this thing was so full of diesel.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was like 3 of these.
Yeah, there's still some in the motor.
Have diesel.
I don't have any more.
Nobody comes smoking.
So it had made me frustrated. Oh, goes through the exhaust. We're gonna bend those lines.
Who is that?
It's calling.
Ugh, I'm going inside.
That's what it is.
No, it's not. Hey, man. Good, how are you?
Another one. Look at that.
It just doesn't end.
E-body. I think Dan's got a Dodge thing now.
I'm a sucker.
I think he just has it's a car I want it, I'll buy it thing. He like 7 rings
but
it, you know?
That's just a car guy thing.
Like that, it's like...
That's a car guy disease, or, you know, affliction, or...
Yeah.
You want to call it.
No. I'll be tight.
I'm not going to clear the fender.
Yeah.
Might as well match the other one with a little crunch on it.
I think so. No harm, no foul.
Nightmare. Not bad. That's what I'm leaving for tonight. I'll be back at it tomorrow. Put that thing on the stand, take the pan off, see how mangled it is, and I guess go try and find a motor. Tomorrow's gonna be a pricey day. Well, it's the next day. This thing didn't fix itself overnight. I did pressure wash everything down pretty good. It was too dark to kind of show off, but everything's all kind of cleaned up. I might do just one more little bit on the frame rails. But I'm pretty stoked on this thing, came out really clean. Now, here's the kicker. When I bought this thing, I kind of bought it through a guy, off the guy who was kind of selling us kind of 1 or 2 removed. Anyways, the guy who had originally had this car for a pile of years, reached out to me. I got a hold of him, which is awesome. And the story goes, he had it, woofed the tranny out of it, was gonna get the transmission dealt with, whatever it is, ended up working in Alberta, life happened. 40 years go by. I guess he's retiring, wherever it is, goes sell the car. Well, the motor's now locked. And over the years, he said he put diesel in it, tried to roll it over and this and that. But the original reason this thing came off the road was the tranny was junk. Now the motor is junk. So plot thickens. So that motor might be able to turn over. It might just actually be stuck. So I don't know. I won't throw it right in the dumpster. So anyways, like the transmission's just kind of held in there with the one mount and a floor jack. So that's coming out. So good news, bad news. Now let's turn lemons into lemonade. Woke up this morning and I had some YouTube money deposited in the old account because that's once a month, which is pretty awesome. So thank you guys for that. So I'm gonna spend it, right? I found a guy that's got B-body guy, making the chargers and stuff like that. I've never met him, but he seems like a pretty cool guy. I've talked to him a few times, never made a deal on anything. He's got a 383, he's got a 727, complete minus a distributor, and I guess some mounts, which I guess big block mounts and small block mounts are different. Now that I'm looking at it, it looks like they just go the other way. So I gotta figure that out, which I have a guy that might have some, which I can also go after. I love the internet. Like every one of you guys that watches and helps out, it makes my life 1,000 times easier. So anyways, oh, and the guy that has the motor and trans also has a headliner and carpet, which he's not using, and will give me a deal on, brand new in the box. It's black, so the carpet for sure. Headliner, I'm fighting up. I want a black headliner in this. I think it's like a beigey color. I don't know. But anyways, I'll probably get that later on today yet. It just stopped raining, so I'm going to try and get some work done. So I'm going to yoink the trans out, and then I have that master and the brakes and stuff, so I might start working on the front brakes while I'm at it. Take a break to go buy a motor, and yeah. So there you go. Any dollar you guys give, every dollar I spend, or get an ad revenue. I'm not getting rich buying stupid cars. But that's the plan for the day. So I think Danny's coming back with lunch right away, actually. So that might be a break before we start. Yeah, we'll go from there. Dodge stuff, Plymouth stuff, Plymouth. Transmission's out. I actually didn't really do any filming because it started to rain, so I wanted to jam through it real quick. Wind's picking up too, so it's kind of lame. But so I got it out. I just took the 4 bolts out of the cross member. The linkage is already disconnected. Now knowing the transmission is garbage, that makes a lot of sense, right? So I'm waiting on a call for the guy to go look at the motor and trans. Hopefully that'll work out. Fingers crossed. Wish me luck. And while I'm doing that, I'm here to show you guys this. So the thing rolls no problem. The brakes though, they're seized. So and yet they roll freely, right? So either the master is locked up or the wheel cylinders or a combination of all of them. So I stopped by yesterday, I think, and I got a new master and wheel cylinders. I think these were like $6 each or something, and a master was 40, so it wasn't worth screwing around. I just bought new everything. So I'm gonna take the master off. Dodge looks like it bolts on the inside. Okay. So I'll free up those lines. I'll spray some lube on them, probably get the torch out. They actually don't look too bad. They don't look too rusty, but those are ugly. Get those out, and then I'll pull the front wheels and see. And on these Dodges, apparently, I guess the right-hand thread on the passenger side, as you can tell by someone made a small mistake. So I guess I actually got to order wheel studs. Probably should pick some of those up, but whatever. Yeah. So that way, if it has brakes, motor and trans go in, get some sort of fuel system, and my only concern is going to be the drive shaft, because I'm thinking, what are the odds the transmission and all it's going to work out? But I got a drive shaft guy, but at least I can make it run once this motor that doesn't exist, I haven't seen yet, goes in. All right, well, I'm going to get to taking this master off and start looking at the brakes. All right, so I got the master off. It's ugly. These Dodges, I guess these Plymouths, the master goes outside in, and the studs go with it, so you got to use nuts on the inside of the firewall. So 2 were easy, 2 were ugly, which then when I was doing the master on this thing, it was all bolted in. I was like, oh, that was stupid, but now I get why. So I cut it off. Danny actually had a video on her channel watching me struggle with it, and then the little rod was stuck and everything. But so here's the old one. It was seized. You can just see I cut the end off, but worked out just fine. Here's the new one. So you gotta bench bleed them, which is pretty easy, but just gotta fill it up with fluid. It comes with these little hoses, and you just kind of jam the rod in just tight. And you want to be no more bubbles coming out. Eventually they'll start coming through the lines, hopefully. There we go. A little more fluid. You can see all the air coming through. There we go. Bench bled. So now let's drain this out, put this back on, hook those 2 lines up. Actually, I play it full if I work quick. Don't knock it. I gotta put this back in. I thought this was actually stuck in there. Well, it was stuck in there. A little bushing and stuff was all jammed, so I hammered it out. Put it back in the car. Nut and bolt it on instead of using these studs. I might use 2 studs actually, because they were not bad to get to. Just to hold it in, I'll run nut and bolt on the other side. Yeah, worked out pretty good. So I got the master on and hooked up. So I got a couple bolts in it because I don't have any that are quite long enough, so I gotta get some more maybe tomorrow. But hooked it up, didn't bleed anything.
I'm not bleeding.
Hold this and look at the wheels spin. So spin it faster. They stop. I did have a blowout on the other side, the line, and I wasn't smart enough to get one when I got the wheel cylinders, which is a little embarrassing. Everything's closed now. Everything's closed tomorrow, so I've ice gripped it. So at least it has 1 brake, and I assume the backs have to. I'll crawl under there and just feel and see if they're moving. But so I can bleed them, kind of put the proper bolts in there, and the braking system will be good enough, right? So yeah, might see if there's a place open tomorrow. I have a brake line, but the place I usually go to is closed on Sundays, which is a pain. Well, that's life. So I think I'm kind of at the end of the road here with the brakes. I mean, how far do you want to go ahead without a brake line? That was really, it's embarrassing, I forgot that. I gotta get some battery connections, which I also forgot. And, oh, there's a leak under there. Hopefully it's just from the master itself. But yeah, waiting on the guy for the motor. I'd like to go look at that tonight. So I think that's where we're gonna leave it for right now. Hopefully when we come back there's a motor, or I'm doing something completely different. What's going on, guys? So it's actually been a few days. I didn't end up picking up a motor. The guy had something come up, so hopefully in the next couple days maybe I'll get out there and look at it. Other thing, I was just putting this footage on my computer, and oh, it's glitchy like crazy. Unfortunately, it's the part where we're pulling the motor out, so I don't know. It's GoPros, that's all I use, these stupid GoPros. So I updated it, formatted the SD card, so hopefully it's better right now. I'm on a different camera, I don't know. Anyways, the plan today, what I thought we'd finish off, I was gonna put this sucker on the stand. We'll see what it looks like, see why it's all buggered. I also stopped by Canadian Tire, my favorite store, but I actually got some brake lines for it. So I at least do the front brake lines maybe. I got some bolts to bolt the master in proper. Then I'll have front brakes, see what's wrong with the motor, probably put this thing back down the ground and stuff it over, because it looks a little rough for the old neighbors. They're cool and all, but there's only so much I'm gonna put up with. So that's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna try this the shaky camera. We're gonna put that on the tripod. That way if it does shake, it won't be as noticeable, I'm hoping. Hopefully I fixed it with my technology skills. All right, well, we'll get this thing up on the stand, start taking it apart, and then we'll do a little CSI. It'll be like Grissom. Well, we're doing a little diagnosis. I mean, everything on the top of the motor looks good. The bottom here, I mean, the crank does move, just a small amount, but the pistons seem to be all kind of stuck, and I don't think there really should be that kind of movement in there, but whatever. And then I'll just show you the top half. We'll spare no expense. Where's my bar? Do this one-handed. Maybe not. Ugh. So I mean, up here, everything looks okay, other than nothing moves. So I guess next step, pull a cylinder head off and see what the pistons look like. But I kind of thought I'd see like something completely broken, which I haven't seen yet, but hey, there's still hope. So I'll pull a cylinder head off, see what's in there, and we'll I guess we'll go from there, see if I maybe free this thing up. But at the end of the day, if the tranny's pooched anyways, we'll see. Motor guy got back to me. He's available in a couple of days. So I guess that gives me 2 days to contemplate my life. There's definitely junk in there, but and a fair bit of rust. Not as bad as that 440. You can kind of see, and there's a lot of ring ridge. So I mean, definitely, this thing is tired. There's no bones about that. Like, it would need to be redone. I can do this one-handed again, but you can kind of see a few of the pistons move. Just barely, but like that one's stuck. That one's stuck. That one moves. So definitely, I think if I just hose a bunch of oil in there, it might actually come free. So I'm gonna spray these all down, have a little bit of supper, wash my hands, feel like a yard sale now. Try to make it better for the neighbors, and I feel like I'm just working against myself. But I mean, the motor's junk anyways, but now I just want to see if I can actually make it spin. So that's the next goal. Okay. All right, I'm gonna have a little craft dinner and then be back at it, see if we can crack her loose. All right, well, I'm back from my little craft dinner break. Yeah, I ended up taking a couple of rod caps off. You know, they've seen better days. Stuff's gone through them, but they're not terrible. Yeah, clean them up. You can feel a bit of ridge with your fingernail, but I mean, really, if it wasn't stuck, it'd be running by now, so who really cares, right? So I don't know, I'll probably flip it over, I'll put the pan back on. I mean, realistically, it will go in my mind, I think. I mean, it's definitely weird though, because it's got just that little bit of movement, but I guess it must just be a couple of pistons are moving and a couple aren't. So we'll see. Might take a few more caps off, but again, it's a pain to get them all off because if it's facing into the motor, you're never getting them out. But that's where I'm going to leave it. I think that's where I'm going to leave it for tonight. I've had enough fail. The brakes will just it'll be the last nail in the coffin if I start on that. So I'll start that tomorrow because it'll be a win, and I want to get that motor hopefully the day after tomorrow and go look at it. Everything will work out just tickety-boo with that. Otherwise, I think that's it. You know, oh, in here, I guess I asked you guys, Murr thinks I should paint in here. Like, he's wrong, right? He wants me to paint it all black, clean it all up and stuff. I want to leave it how it is. You know, hopefully the other motor will be kind of orange or something, just kind of pressure wash it, make it look nice, put it all back in. make it look like a real survivor, as opposed to something that's been kind of borderline restored. But that's just my thoughts. Maybe you guys can leave a comment. But that's it for now. 318 fail, car's all apart, lots of struggle. That's hot rodding. Tell your friends, subscribe to the channel if you don't mind. I really appreciate it. Like I said, leave a comment. I love reading them. You guys are rock stars. I'll see you on the next one. My tiny brain wasn't gonna let me go to sleep here without trying a little harder. It started making worse and worse noise, and I think I found a problem. Is that the spec Dodge, guys? So, junk. It's kind of a cool noise though. So, ring ridge, obviously that ain't good. Chucked a bearing, or who knows what happened in there. But yeah, so now I don't feel bad about tossing this in the local BFI. Now I'm done. See you guys later.